Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to your June soul session. I am Princess India if you're new, and if you're family, welcome back, my friend, and let's not always have a. So we're going to go ahead and jump into you guys' cards for the month of June. We're going to be looking at an overall energy as well as a challenge, and then we're going to get into a more specific spread to see what is going on with you all for the month of June. So okay, maybe that was a card I'm supposed to take. I accidentally pushed it back in the deck. Okay, there we go. Overall energy, our challenge, and I'm going to go ahead and pick the cards for our second spread for continuity and what's not to always have us. So anywho, coming into the month of June, Capricorn, your overall energy is the Four of Wands. So we have a sense of security, stability, a new chapter that is happening for my Capricorns in the month of June. You guys crossing a proverbial threshold, Also with it being June, maybe some of you guys are attending weddings, I wouldn't say necessarily getting married, but, celebrations and things of the sort. So the challenge that we have, interesting, we have the Strength card that is Leo energy. So you guys challenge for the month of June is to be strong. It's more or less taming your inner beast in a sense. What I really get from this is more or less to not be impulsive. So kind of what I'm gathering from this Capricorn is in the month of June, you guys are coming into a new chapter in your life. Things are pretty stable. Things are, and I've said this before with someone where it was this whole thing with stability and security, but things are pretty stable. Things are going well. It's a very celebratory time, but I feel, how can I say this? It's kind of like with this new chapter that has opened up in your life, you guys have made some changes, if I could say it that way. And I wouldn't say like to your personality per se, but more or less changes in your behavior, right? Certain things that you guys used to do in connections with people in certain environments and things of the sort. I feel leading up into this particular time, you guys have put a lot of work into not behaving impulsively or behaving a certain way. What we're talking about specifically, I don't know, but it just, it comes off to me very much behavior modification-esque. So, I mean, to give a tangible example of this, say hypothetically, if you cursed a lot, right? And the thing that you told yourself is, I'm going to stop cursing as much. You know what I'm saying? So now this particular, realm of reality that you guys are in right now, I feel that you're coming into a chapter to where, and again, this is a really corny example, but up until this point, you guys have not been cursing. You've been doing very well with not using curse words. But this new chapter you guys are coming into, it's like the energy of it is one in which it would provoke you to curse, hypothetically speaking, right? And what the challenge is going to be is for you guys to stay on the path that you were on prior to this shift or change happening, and kind of staying true to this thing that you said that you weren't going to do anymore. And the thing I'm hearing is for some of you, this could be like drinking, you know what I mean? So say hypothetically, if you stop drinking and, June, you're going to friends' weddings, you're going to different events or vacations, what have you, and there's alcohol there, you know what I mean? And it could tempt you to kind of fall back into old behavior. What this Strength card is really saying to me is that you guys need to stay true to whatever this, shift or change it is that you guys made, and kind of seeing that till the end of the road, if we could say it that way in so many words. So, and the thing I get with this, it's like a whole narrative I could kind of put with this in the sense of like, I kind of said this with someone else. It was kind of like, if someone is, in trouble with the law, everybody finds Jesus when they're in trouble with the law. You know what I mean? But when you get off from those charges and you're like found not guilty or whatever, it's like that's when people will totally, throw baby Jesus out with the bathwater. It feels very much like an instance like that. Like whatever this behavior modification was, it was inspired by things in your life being less than stellar. But now with things switching and being okay, the question is, are you really going to stick with it? But what I would gather from this is it would behoove you if you did. And I hope and pray that that makes makes sense. So anywho, getting into you guys more specific spread, your central energy representing you all, interesting. In the month of June, we have the 7 of Cuppies. Your past influence is the Knight of Pentacles. That's been stalking everyone so far. Your hidden influence. This is like the sign I did before, you guys. We have the Ace of Cuppies in the reverse. Interesting. Your potential outcome, interesting, is the 3 of Cuppies. And what to look out for moving forward, interesting, we have the Star in the reverse. So here's the thing, Capricorn, and I kind of want to, just because this came out for someone else, I want to clarify this really quick, this Knight of Pentacles that we have here. Let's see, what is this Knight of Pentacles about? Whoa, hello. We have Soldier in the reverse. Interesting. I don't know if you guys can see it. These are pretty small. Soldier in the reverse. This is fascinating. Okay. I'm getting so much stuff with that. The first thing that comes to me with this Soldier in the reverse and this Knight of Pentacles, the first thing I heard was ceasefire. I don't think that this is a literal military reference or anything, even though it kind of does seem like that. Okay. Gosh, okay, that's a lot. All right. I'm gonna say this a couple of ways. Some of you guys, this is somebody in your life that was in the military. I don't know where this is gonna go. So I don't know if this is maybe like an ex-partner or a friend or something. And the vibe I kind of get with this would be like someone who either retired out of the military or was like discharged. And I'm not really getting specification on if we're talking about honorably discharged or dishonorably discharged. But it's a person that was in the military once upon a time, but they're not in it anymore for whatever reason, right? And so this is kind of one side of it. For some of you, I feel this is a person, and with the whole ceasefire vibe that I get, this is like a person who's coming back into your life or came back into your life rather, or has been kind of looming around you. For some of you, this literally could be a person who's either like offering you guys an olive branch, a person who's trying to reconcile with you. So like in a romantic sense or in like a friendly sense or a family sense, because this could even be like a father figure. Like say if your dad was like a military veteran or something and he retired out of the military and you haven't really had a conversation with him or something like that, this person reaching out, but this would all be something that you guys would know about because this is falling in your recent past. Now, the other side of this, I kind of get with this person, which kind of, I'm not getting the specification on it, but this is just my opinion. I kind of get the vibe of someone who was dishonorably discharged. You know what I'm saying? To where they did something that was less than stellar. And I mean, hell, let's just be honest. Some of you guys, I could be talking about you. Okay? Let's just be real about it. Because this could be something that's actually in your recent past to where, you know, you were in the military and you did something less than stellar and you were dishonorably discharged. But whatever the case, I feel that this person is kind of coming into your space and making an offer to you guys. But I feel kind of like this upsets the apple cart a bit. You know what I'm saying? To where... especially if this is like a family member or something, but I feel more like father figure. This doesn't feel like uncle or something or grandpa. It feels more like a dad. So I would say it's either a friend, a father, or like a romantic partner. But I feel like this person kind of coming into your space, this would be like the latter part of May coming into June. I feel this person's influence or their attempt to speak with you or something along those lines, I feel that kind of upsets the apple cart for you, which kind of leads you guys into this kind of not really sure which way to go that I'm seeing in the present moment. And I'm going to use another deck to clarify this just because this energy is really strong. to where it's kind of taken over. Let me pull from this deck so I can get more clarification for my other people. Because on the other side, what I feel like is this is just speaking to you guys completely, coming out of the, oh, good God. Okay. That's not helping. We have the door to value in the reverse. Ooh, child. Okay. Yeah. All right. Here's the thing. I don't even know where this comes in, but then again, I don't have Capricorn in my chart, so I have no frame of reference for this. But the other side of this, and it's still heavy with this military person, dude, I'm not gonna front. But if I kind of push out this military kind of energy and just make it in the sense of like, it's like financial scamming is the vibe that I'm getting. So in the recent past, and this could, and I'll even say it this way. This is something that occurred in the recent past, but this could have ties to a more extended kind of past. You know what I'm saying? But it has something to do with some type of financial, like, scamming or something. Like, I'm getting the vibe of like, what is it? Like get rich quick scheme type of vibe. And so here's the thing, this particular person that I'm talking about, right? They could be coming into your life again, trying to reconcile with you. But I feel with this, they're eventually, the whole offer thing may not have happened past tense, because I'm seeing this as more or less like the motivating factor. But this person could be coming back into your life trying to reconcile with you, right? And what it would seem like from where it is that you're standing, that it's just, oh, I haven't talked to this person in years, or, you know, I completely cut off this parental figure or whatever, they're back. You know, they're trying to make amends. They're trying to be in my life again. But, oh gosh. I've been waiting for that sneeze to come for a minute. Anyway, God bless the truth. Anywho, but I feel this person is coming back on the like false pretenses in a sense. What it would look like to you is that they're coming back to reconcile, say sorry, you know, something along those lines, because you haven't spoke to them in a while. However, what's hiding behind, you know, their reasoning for trying to reconcile with you has a lot to do with like finances. Like it's gonna be something where they would make some type of offer for you, and this has been coming out a lot in a lot of signs. It would be them trying to make some type of offer with you to maybe go into business with you, or have you loan them money, or what? My kid is calling me. Hold on a moment. My apologies. Oh gosh. What? Really? Oh my gosh. How do I like pause and come? Dang it. Oh. My apologies, Capricorn. My kid interrupted, and then my computer does the thing that it always does, but at least it didn't do it at the end of your reading. So I'm happy about that. But anyway, so back to what I was saying. It's, I don't know, I can't get out of this whole military kind of energy person, you know? So I do feel that with this, like whoever this person is, so let me separate it this way. Because like I was saying, I feel very much that the other energy that this door to value more or less would be speaking to, I don't necessarily feel that that involves another person. But for those of you where this does involve another person, the other thing I could say, if it's not a person in the military, it's somebody who's like a uniformed kind of person. I don't know if firefighters would count, but like a police officer would count as well. You know what I'm saying? Like something that's like kind of in that realm. You know what I mean? Coast Guard people, I mean, they're considered military, but you know, whatever the case. But I feel it has something to do with this particular person coming back and potentially making an offer to you that's somehow money involved, whether it's investing in something or, you know, them telling you to hold money, put money in an account, something like that. But I just feel that there's kind of skeezy motivations behind it. But I also feel that you kind of would have a history with this person. So like, even if it was like a father figure type of thing, this would be someone where they've done this before, where it's like they get you involved in stuff where it's financially related, but it always ends up not necessarily working out on your end. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if it's scams or if it's like this person borrowing money from you and never paying you back or something like that. It's something with that. Now, the other group of you, I don't necessarily feel that it has anything to do with someone else. It feels almost like you being like your own worst enemy, in a sense, if I could say it that way. So it's, if we're looking at the contrast of this Knight of Pentacles, like a very much like slow and steady wins the race kind of vibe, it's like the soldier energy, looking at it just benign, not necessarily as the figure, but it's just like the antithesis of that. You know what I'm saying? It's a person who does not have, you know, like discipline or a plan and, you know, like executing it, seeing until it's finished. And that's what kind of brings me back to the strength that you guys challenge. How I was saying, it's like, it feels to me like behavior modification, where it's something that you were doing and something that you stopped doing. And it's like in this particular new season that you're coming into, not falling back into it. But the thing that says for me specifically, for those of you where it's not, you know, the military or police person, that this would be speaking to like how you handle finances. So this would actually be a perfect example. If in the past you had issues with mismanaging your finances, right? And so you decided that, you know, with the money that you were making now, that you were going to, you know, be better with your finances, you create a budget, all of the things. So then you end up getting a promotion into a new job, and now you're making like 2-3 times the amount of money that you were before. This challenge would be, are you going to continue to manage your finances properly, or are you going to fall back into those past behaviors of mismanaging your finances? That's what I'm kind of feeling for the second energy, you know. Now, coming into this 7 of Cups, and this kind of piggybacks me back to those of you where this involves another person, you know. And I would say, like I said, this military energy, dude, it is screaming. Like, it's all up in here. But just so, you know, it's a general reading on YouTube. So if I kind of sidestep that and kind of wager in the middle between these two energies, and say if this person isn't like a police officer, they're not military, this is just a person that would kind of be the antithesis of Capricorn, to where you have a tendency to be, you know, disciplined, and this person absolutely not. I do feel it's someone who's coming into your space, but I feel that's where this confusion is kind of coming from, because there is a crossroads you guys are at, in a sense, where it's a decision that needs to be made moving forward. But I feel a lot of what this issue is coming from this Ace of Cups that's in the reverse, and you guys hidden influences, because whether it's with this particular person, or if this doesn't involve a person and this is just your own behavioral patterns, because how I would see this as like behavioral patterns within ourselves is like self-sabotage, where sometimes you're very disciplined and structured. So if we use the money thing, like sometimes you're managing your finances properly, and then all of a sudden you just kind of fall off the bandwagon and start spending like crazy. But then when you realize you're spending like crazy, you get back on the bandwagon of managing your finances. But how that kind of shows up is like self-sabotage, because it's almost like 1 step forward, 2 steps back. And if that's just been your own personal pattern of behavior, I feel whatever this decision is that you guys are making in the month of June, I don't necessarily feel that it has much of anything to do per se with this person or your past behavior up until this point. I just feel it's just kind of, I'm not really sure which route I should go. But I feel the thing that's important here, like these outlying factors, is this past influence with this Knight of Pentacles, as well as this underlying influence with the Ace of Cups in the reverse, because I feel like there's something that's unresolved here. So, and what this would look like is either Capricorn hasn't recognized within yourself that you have a tendency to flip-flop between, you know, self-discipline to no discipline at all. You know what I mean? Or it's like with this particular person, how I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, about how it, you know, like it seems like this person's trying to reconcile, and it's like, oh, well, you know, I haven't talked to him for a while. It's been some time. Maybe they've changed. It's kind of like that Achilles heel soft spot type of vibe. And I kind of feel with both of these things coming into your space where you're already at a crossroads and confused about a decision that you have to make, that's where I feel that this energy kind of comes in as something to be mindful about. Because, of course, the Ace of Cups in the reverse, this could also speak to, you know, something not necessarily panning out like you hoped. So that even goes back to this decision, meaning in the sense of, if you make a decision this month about something and you end up finding out that, and it would be towards the latter part of June, and not saying that this is literally what's going to happen, but I'm saying hypothetically, say if by the midpoint of June, you guys have to make this particular decision, right? And say by the latter part of June, you end up finding out or feeling as if the decision that you made wasn't necessarily the best decision. You know what I'm saying? I feel the culmination of either this person coming back into your life, or if this is just a solitary thing, like you kind of having this flip-flop kind of energy of being on the bandwagon, falling off the bandwagon type of deal. And with this Ace of Cups in the reverse, never really addressing that or coming to like the word that came to me is like fruition, but that's like the improper usage of that word. But like not coming to like a conclusion or I don't know, like a period at the end of the sentence with this pattern of behavior or this particular person. I feel the thing to watch out for with the star in the reverse is this could kind of be the gateway that puts you back into like a negative cycle of like self-loathing in a sense, where you're like beating yourself up unnecessarily. And the truth is, it wouldn't be just because you made a bad decision. It's because you're mad that you made the bad decision, but you're grieving all of this past stuff. Because especially, I can't even say just with the person. If this is with the person, whether they're a military police person or not, like if this just resonates with you and this sounds like, you know, a person that's your antithesis, that it's like every time stuff is going good in your life, every time this person comes in, it's like everything falls apart. That would be like the best way to describe this person if they're non-military and stuff affiliated. You know what I'm saying? Or if you know that you have like a self-sabotatory like cycle, but it's like you just kind of tell yourself, and I see people do this all the time, it's like people, you know, release under the full moon, like release self-sabotage under the full moon and just assume that their self-sabotage is gone because, you know, they burned a piece of paper under the light of the full moon and never like learn behaviors to, you know, do behaviors to kind of replace those self-sabotatory behaviors. So whether it's something like that, that's like this repressed emotion I'm seeing with this Ace of Cups, to where it's kind of like you're harboring like this monster. It's almost like having a monster, putting it in the freezer, you know, inside of you. And then when something doesn't pan out the way that you hoped, or simply just being confused, because being confused and needing to make a decision, that can cause us to just kind of pause and numb out completely, because we're so afraid of making the wrong decision that we don't make a decision, you know, at all, right? So that's like anxiety provoking, and that's like procrastination that we partake in, which would resonate very much with my self-sabotage people. It's like whenever we find ourselves in a position where we have to make a decision, it's like that is provoking anxiety because there's the fear of making the wrong decision. So what we ultimately do is procrastinate, right? Like we put it off because we don't like the way the anxiety feels. So we go into avoidance behaviors to not even have to deal with it. And that's another form of self-sabotage because, you know, you never gave yourself the opportunity to make the right or wrong decision, but you made no decision, and making no decision causes you by default to miss out. You know what I'm saying? So with the star in the reverse being what to look out for, I feel that that's kind of a heads up. So whether it's your own behavior that you haven't confronted and addressed, like I do this in certain situations, or if this is just a person that always comes and upsets the apple cart in your life, I feel both of those need to be addressed, because however stuff pans out with this decision you guys are having to make, I feel that this repressed emotion, this person, or this behavioral pattern, depending on which one resonates with you, is going to kind of exacerbate this to where it's going to make it a lot worse than it really is. But the beautiful thing about all of this is your potential outcome being the Three of Cups. So the way I look at it is, regardless of what decision that Capricorn makes, this is intended to still work out in your favor anyway. You feel what I'm saying? But this is more a matter of perception, if I could say it that way. This really goes back to a matter of perception. So because this is intended to work out for your betterment, regardless of what you do in the meantime, in between time, which, like I said, goes back to this Four of Wands as your overall energy. This is by default, you know, if we want to look at it as ethereal energy, if we want to look at it as your lifetime line, by default, this is a time frame in which it's a new cycle for you guys, period. So stuff is going to work out for you anyway. You know what I'm saying? But whether you enjoy this period or whether, you know, this seems like a big giant shit show, it's all a matter of perspective. And that perspective is coming from decisions you're making of who it is that you're allowing back into your space. You know what I'm saying? Like not learning from past mistakes, or so the same if this is your own pattern of behavior, right? So if your pattern of behavior isn't changing, or if you haven't learned your lesson from people who screwed you over in the past, that is what can kind of get you into this, you know, hopelessness, feeling like everything's kind of falling apart energy. But the thing that's important to know is I feel like this, despite things working out for you anyway, you can feel like it's not working out for you, all based on your perspective. I hope and pray that that's making sense. I feel like I want to pull, I'm going to pull an oracle for y'all. Hold on. Let me pause you guys 1 second so I can grab this oracle deck. Luckily, that wasn't long for you. Okay. So I'm going to pull, this is from the Wisdom Oracle. I'm going to pull a card from here for you guys. But I mean, overall, what it kind of looks like to me, Capricorn, I wouldn't even say that this is like a full-on test or anything. I would look at this more like a checkpoint for you all, because to me, this looks like a win-win situation. I don't feel like you could really, in the bigger scheme of things, like me looking at it objectively, I don't feel like you can lose at this. But from a subjective standpoint, it can feel like you did, even though you didn't. But this is just more like, I think, like a behavioral checkpoint of making sure, because what this could ultimately turn into, whether it's with this person or it's just with your own behavioral patterns in the future, this could end up becoming like unfinished business, like World in the Reverse kind of energy, you know, like stuff that kind of stacked up that you haven't, you know, dealt with in so many words. Ciao. This came out reverse, but I'm going to read both of the little options. It's blessed, and it came out in the reverse. It's number 22 if you're a numbers kind of guy or gal. But I'm going to read both of the options because they have like an option in here for when stuff is reversed. Let me see here. 22. Okie dokie. It says, something wonderful that is unearned and unexpected, grace that is an unforeseen gift from spirit. There are moments in life when out of the blue, it seems that everything has been orchestrated by divine intervention. You feel blessed in ways that are difficult to express. It's as if the Red Sea parts in front of you and events come together to banish your troubles easily and naturally. You know deep down you did not deserve any of it, and yet here you are. This is one of those times. Let awe and gratitude be all your what? Let awe and gratitude, okay, for all of your blessings guide you now. Now that's exactly what I'm feeling. Like I was saying with this Four of Wands and this Three of Cups, I feel regardless of how this goes, Capricorn, it's like, I don't know. I just saw in my head like a line graph. It's like they got a dot here, a line, and a dot. So whatever happens in the meantime, in between time is irrelevant because dot A is going to dot B anyway. You feel what I'm saying? But it's more about, and it's weird. If I were to make this really existential, it's kind of like life in its bigger totality. Like point A is birth. Point B, or we could say point Z, would be, us being unalive, right? Whatever happens in between our birth and, our untimely or timely demise, right? It's totally up to us what we choose to fill in. But those are the two guarantees that every human being has. So that's kind of how I'm seeing this for you. It's like the start of this cycle, the end of it, it's beautiful either way, but it's almost like the opportunity of what you experience between this is totally up to you. This can be, a magnanimous blessing, and I'm glad, this card came out because that perfectly describes what I was trying to say, is that it's just your time. It's just your season. It's not anything that you did or didn't do, So like I said, like with the strength, like if you stop cursing or stop drinking, that's not why this is happening. It's just one of those things where it's just like in your life timeline, that stuff is just supposed to happen this way. So what's going to happen is going to happen regardless of what you do or don't do, but it's up to you how you choose to experience the time in between this. You know what I mean? So literally in the month of June, it's up to you how it is that you want your month of June to go. But what's going to happen at the end of the month is going to happen anyway, right? But it's up to you whether you want this to be smooth sailing or you want this to be like self-degradation in so many words. Now, the protection message says, humility is called for now, as grace is an unearned gift. You didn't gain this by your own desires or actions. To be who you need to be, you can no longer do what you did. In a way, you have hit rock bottom, and what is required now is nothing less than total surrender. Then you will be blessed. So that's kind of what I'm saying in reference to like these hiccups that I'm seeing when it comes to this decision that you guys need to make. Is more or less the way that you're approaching this, why that challenges the strength card, the way that you guys, like what would behoove you. Like I can't say there's no consequence. You have free will and you can do what you want to do, but it would behoove you, like I was saying with the strength card, with whatever behavior modification you guys did, if you stuck with that. So even like with this person, if you made the decision to cut off communication with this person, I feel it would behoove you to stick with that, regardless of what sweet, kind words or whatever they're saying, all the I'm sorry's or whatever I want to make up for it. With looking like, to me, it would behoove you to trust yourself, trust the process, trust spirit. You know what I'm saying? And then for those of you where you end up making a decision this month and you feel like it's less than stellar, it's like, don't try to fight the process. It's like surrender and allow. I went on a whole rant about that. For those of you who are members on my Patreon or the network, She Do Society, check out, because all my members had me cracking up laughing. They're like, we will never look at the hangman card the same. We're just going to start calling it the surrender card, because the weekly for the last week of May that led into June, that whole reading, like it was hella deep. And it's very similar to this, but it was speaking in detail, like about the hangman card and about surrender and personal accountability and how it is that we can use that energy like in our favor. So if you guys are members, definitely go check that out. But because I feel like it would be helpful in reference to like, better understanding this in so many words. But in the midst of this Capricorn, it's literally all in you guys' hands. Like it's totally up to you how it is that you navigate this month. But I feel the beautiful thing about it is, it's going to turn out good anyway. I can't say that enough. It's going to turn out good anyway. It's just up to you how it is that you want this to go. And I don't know why, when I went to go grab this deck, I got this idea. I've been said I was going to do this like ages ago. And I'm going to have to like backstep because I did 2 signs before you guys and I didn't do it for them. So I'm going to pick one for them too. But you guys know I'm like the core value queen. I mean, some of you might not know that. People who know me as a therapist know that. Like I do in-depth study into core values. I'm deeply obsessed with them. I believe that they're literally like a person's personal 10 commandments, if you will. And I feel every single human being on earth should be fully aware of what their core values are as like a navigating guiding force for your life. And I also, if you want to find out what your core values are, I have a little booklet on my website that teaches you about that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to pull a value for you guys that's going to be your core value for the month of June. And I'm going to do that for every sign. But I saw my little baggie. It's all tattered because I've been using this for so long, y'all. But I got the idea when I was going to grab that Oracle deck. I was like, I feel like I should pull them a core value card. Okay, so I'm going to do this one, whatever this is that's in my hand. And get off me, get off me, get off me, get off me. Come here, damn it. Okay, interesting. So Capricorn, your core value for the month of June is knowledge. Because knowledge is power. It says to learn and contribute valuable knowledge. So that's important. So, do what you want with that. But you guys, core value for the month of June is knowledge. But anyway, Capricorn, that's been your soul session for June. Most certainly let me know what you think in the comments. And as always, I love your freaking face. And, I have to try this because I found out if you're watching me on your phone right now, if you have me like this, like turn it that way, like that, because allegedly, because of AI, if we say the word subscribe in a video and you're not subscribed to me, I mean, if you're subscribed to me, it's not going to work. But if you say subscribe in a video, then the little button that says subscribe should like light up. So let me know if it works if you're not subscribed. And then after that, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to try it. Y'all let me know if it worked. Don't unsubscribe for me to find out. YouTube does enough of that. But anyway, let me know if that worked in the comments. If you haven't subscribed yet and I said it, or is it doing it every time I say it, or does it only work one time? Like, it should be like rainbow colors around it. But anyway, okay, that's enough of that. I love your face. I'll see you guys soon.